Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah, beginner runner, trying to run a half marathon for the very first time. I'm really excited to bring you another recap video of what my week has looked like. This week was another prep week in my half marathon training program. I ran a total of, honestly don't even remember. Let me put it here. Wow, that many. Nice. It's probably not that many, I don't know. Yeah, let's get into it. So essentially this video I'm going to take you through 4 different aspects of my running that I think are important for me to look into, analyze a bit. These 4 things are 1, the workouts, including both the running workouts and also the strength workouts. 2, my recovery. So looking at things like stretching, foam rolling, sleep. The 3rd thing is nutrition. And the 4th thing is my psychology. So how I feel the week went, how I was during those workouts, how I'm feeling overall, just in general, and also about my running. So let's get into the video. I don't know why I did that. The workouts. This week I had 3 runs, like usual, like every week. There's 3 runs. The first one was on a Tuesday. Tuesday was a speed session. Now, this was my first time doing a speed session, and I have to say, I found it pretty rough. Like, that was really tough, mentally and physically. I've never done one of those before. 10 minutes easy, so starting off pretty nice, and then we move on to 6 different reps. It was 2 minutes at interval pace, and then 2 minutes walking afterwards. And after those reps, there was a 10-minute easy run afterwards. I think the first 3 that I did, I was able to reach those interval paces. It was tough. I really wanted to quit during them, not going to lie, but I did it and I was happy with that. And then it got to the 5th one, and that really hurt. I don't even think I was able to finish the 5th one at an interval pace. I did the first minute and then walked the 2nd minute, which I should have been running because I couldn't do it, and I felt really defeated about that. The 6th one that I did, I wasn't able to reach the interval pace, but I just tried to run faster than I normally would, just so at least I was trying. Yeah, I felt pretty bad. Not necessarily because it was difficult, but because I couldn't do it. I mentally just couldn't do it. One thing that I struggled with was I got a really awful stitch on my right side, and that was very, very painful. That was one of the reasons why I had to slow down. Yeah, that wasn't so good. And I was a tiny bit traumatized afterwards. I got back and I was just oh my gosh, running kind of sucks. That was really hard. So for that run, my average pace was 7 minutes, 17 seconds a kilometer. I feel like it probably should have been a bit faster given it was meant to be a speed session as an average. But that's what it was. Not ideal. Oh, also my GPS was off, and so it didn't record properly. Honestly, that entire session was just not ideal for me. Workout number 2. This wasn't a run, this was a strength workout. This was on the Thursday. Recently, Nike have put a series up on Netflix, a workout series. It's follow along at home. There's different ones, and so I decided to do one of those. Actually, it wasn't as awful as I thought. I know it's very negative me, but as I've mentioned in few previous videos, I don't really like bodyweight training. So this time actually was quite okay. It was quite nice. The trainer was really energetic, and I was able to get that done. The next running session was on the Friday. So Friday was a 6K easy run, and I have to say this was so much nicer than the speed session on Tuesday. I enjoyed this immensely more, just significantly more, because it was more chill. I could just run at my own pace, enjoy the music I was listening to. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Also, I am back home at this time, so I was doing a bit of house sitting in a different place in the Central Coast, and by now, the Friday, I've come back. So I ended up traveling back on the Wednesday, which was great because it was a rest day, so that made it a lot easier too. So for this session, I ran an average of 7 minutes and 10 seconds a kilometer, which is probably on the faster side of my easy pace. Generally, I start off a lot faster and gradually get a little bit slower. I try not to think about pace too much on my easy runs because I just want to enjoy the run. I'm not meant to be exerting too much effort. It is easy for me to just want to go a little bit faster because I feel like I'm going very slow. But I have to just remind myself, this is an easy run. I'm going for a jog and I want to enjoy it. So that was the easy run. Much, much better physically and mentally for me. Next day was Saturday, rest day, so no run, and Sunday. So this will be yesterday for me now. Sunday was a 10K easy run. I have to say I was looking forward to this quite a lot. I think because I enjoyed my Friday run, the 6K, and I realized that I can run even though I struggled a lot on the Tuesday. I was super keen. And so Sunday popped up. I ended up starting it a little bit later in the day. Not actually like late, I mean in the morning. I wanted to do it definitely before like 11 a.m. because it was going to be 36 degrees and I didn't want to be running in that. So I think I left somewhere around like 9:30. So it wasn't too hot. It was definitely still warm, don't get me wrong, I was sweating, but it wasn't as hot as it could have been that day. This 10K easy run averaged about a 7:50 minute a kilometer, and I took about an hour and 19 minutes to finish it. Started off much nicer, and then the last 3 kilometers I was mentally struggling a bit more. I think I'm on the home stretch and it's really hot and my legs are starting to get tired. I just want to get back, and so I was trying to play a few games as I was running, trying to listen to the music, focus on the music. Sometimes I would even turn the music off to focus on what was around me to distract myself. So yeah, the last 3 kilometers were a bit tough, but overall I think the run went pretty well. I came back and just like laid on the floor, put my legs up, trying to just get that blood flowing away from my legs and back up into the rest of my body because yeah, it was really, really hot. So that was the 10K. I enjoyed that. It's recovery time, a very important part of being a runner because most of the time we're not exercising. Most of the time we're recovering. And this week's recovery has been kind of subpar, to be honest with you. Stretching has been okay, like before and after my runs. I basically every time do those dynamic stretches before I go for a run. And after a run, I try to, if I'm not too lazy, to do those static stretches when I come back. To be honest, they're all pretty kind of half-hearted because I'm not 100% sure of what I'm doing. So I just kind of do something stretch in a way that makes me feel overall kind of good and isn't too difficult. Foam rolling, I think I only did it once this week after the speed session because that was really difficult and I thought, I'm going to need to foam roll those muscles out. So I did do it after that session, but after the 6K run and after the 10K run, I haven't done foam rolling, mainly because I've been too lazy. And that's not very good, you know? I should be better at that. I know that foam rolling is very important to recovering well. Well, it's not the most important thing, but it's a very good thing to do. Sleep-wise also hasn't been that great. It has been a bit better than last week, but it just, I still have had a bit of broken sleep waking up throughout the night. Also, I think after that 6K run, I was quite tired and I only got like 5 hours of sleep. I just struggled so much to fall asleep, not really sure why that happened. But the next day, the Saturday afterwards, I was so out of it, like, dang, I could not function. 5 hours of sleep is not enough for me. Definitely try to get those 7 to 9. In between that, usually average is 8, and that's where I feel really, really good. So working on doing that better. I did a little research on how to improve sleep in terms of getting into a better routine, even the waking up part. I've also been trying to walk as one of the first things that I do when I wake up, just to the end of the street or back. It's only like 10-15 minutes, so not very long, but just to help me wake up essentially and get a few more steps in, because especially on those days where I don't have a run or a strength workout, I'm so inactive, I'm very sedentary. So I'm trying to get a few more steps in. Ideally, I'd like to get in like 7,000 a day on those non-running days, non-workout days, but we'll see how that goes. That is something that I think will also aid my recovery, because just sitting around on a laptop isn't really great for the body, isn't helping those muscles heaps. Yeah, that's recovery. Overall, not super good. I'll probably give myself a 5 out of 10 on that. Okay, nutrition time. I love talking about food. This week, nutrition has been okay. For the most part, I have been keeping within my calories. I mean that by saying that 6 out of 7 days I was within my calories, which is pretty good of being in a deficit. I am pretty tired of it, not going to lie. So I'm thinking probably in 1 to 2 weeks, I'll hop into a bit of a diet break and eat in maintenance for a week, just to give my brain, my mind, and also my body a bit of a break, add a few more calories in, which should make me feel really good, mentally feel better, and also give me a bit of energy for those runs. I did end up getting some more protein powder, which is great, so I can add that back into my porridge. And otherwise, nutrition hasn't looked too different from the past few weeks. Still kind of eating the same stuff, just a little bit tired of it. That's all. Yeah, that's nutrition. Psychology. Yeah, talking about how I'm going mentally. Yeah, fun. So this week it's been okay. I mean, there's been some really great sessions. Actually, I enjoyed that Friday 6K, and the 10K easy run was also quite good. And it's always, after those really hard sessions, you come back and you feel great. Unfortunately, the Tuesday speed session really knocked me about a bit. Like I felt quite disappointed that day. During the run, I felt disappointed because I was really struggling to reach those interval paces, and afterwards as well, when I hadn't really properly done it. I just felt like I'd failed, essentially, which I know isn't true. There's going to be days where it's really hard. And that was my first ever speed session, my first time trying to reach those speeds. So I need to be a little bit kinder on myself, I think. Yeah, so I mean, that's how it is. And running is really hard sometimes. I don't know why, like, when we call things easy runs, it makes me think, oh, like, I should be super chill. This should be super easy, comfortable, no problems. But then there are other runs where it's actually meant to be difficult. It's meant to be hard. I'm meant to be challenged. Mentally, this is where the growth really happens for me. Like on the easy runs, it's pretty easy, essentially, right? Like I'm not being super challenged other than just getting out the door. It's probably the hardest part of doing it. But on those speed sessions, on those harder sessions, that's where I think the mental growth is going to happen, which I really need for this half marathon, because I've never done anything like that before. So I want to be mentally ready for it, for the challenge, for when I'm really tired, for when I want to give up, to be able to overcome that and to just get on and do it and try to enjoy it, even though it's really difficult. Another thing that's been a bit difficult this week has been the nutrition. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to hop into a diet break in the next few weeks just to give myself a bit of a mental break there, because it's a bit tiring mentally just to be thinking about food more than I would like to, but also because having less food just generally makes me a little bit more tired. It's crazy because the first couple of months of being in a calorie deficit, I actually felt really good. And I think, this end of this third month is tiring me out a little bit. And that's okay. Totally normal. The video that I watched last week, which made me ponder, instead of saying, what am I grateful for, saying what went well today, has actually been really helpful. Yeah, it just is a different way to look at it, and it makes me think of things that maybe I wouldn't have before, and actually appreciate those things that did go well in light of maybe a tougher day or a tougher week. So yeah, mentally I think probably at a 6.5 out of 10. for week 3. Overall, not too bad. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you made it to the end, you are literally amazing. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me as I talk about this week of training. Week 3, I can't believe already in week 3, the race is getting closer. If you enjoyed it, I would really love if you would subscribe or like the video or comment and let me know what you thought. If you're also on a similar journey or if you're doing something else, let me know, and I'd be interested to learning as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic week getting it done. Week 4, let's go. See you later.